Here we are Monday, and it's mid-June, and of course it's been raining. One great thing about that is you can splash about in the puddles. Been quite a tough year, and we've had drought for about the last 10 days, and then the torrential rains come, and got a leak on my roof, which was fixed but still leaking. But I've come down to pick a few strawberries, so trying to think of something positive. Haven't had loads of strawberries, but in this enclosed area where I've transplanted a lot of younger strawberry plants, I should be able to get a few. Take some of them when they're not quite ready, because the slugs are just getting a bit active now, and let them ripen off a bit at home. To make a simple summer drink from things which you can grow or you can get hold of from your allotment, I got some elderflower, which where I live in the Midlands in England is really at its peak about now. So I've got really sort of half a pan loosely full. This is a pressure cooker pan, but I'm not going to use the pressure side of it. And I've got a mixture of the rhubarb I've got. They're not the best sticks of rhubarb, but I didn't choose very, very stringy ones. And I've got a mixture of the rhubarb that was growing on the plot when I first got it, plus some red champagne, which is this one here, which is now about 3 years old. And I've also got a bit of apple juice, which is you can just use usual apple juice made from concentrate. So basically the idea is you need to chop your rhubarb up, which I'll do, and there's your elderflower. Make sure you only put the minimum amount of water into this and boil it up, and basically let the juices from the rhubarb and the juice, anything you're going to get from the elderflower, make its own sort of cordial mixed with the apple juice. You don't really need to add much in the way of sugar to this, and it should make a nice concentrate summer drink. Okay, so once you've sliced up your rhubarb into little chunks, I've sliced about 4 stalks there, and put all my elderflower in. I'm not going to add the apple juice until I've actually made the concentrate from this first, because really what I want is to get this boiling, and once it's boiling you'll see that I'll be able to mash it up and crush it up, and then I will then strain it after. But I'm going to boil some water up first to go in it, and I'd only want to have the minimum amount of water, because what I really want is the juice from the elderflower and the rhubarb first. When I went down to the allotment last night, it was very damp and there were a lot of slugs about, and I noticed they'd only just started eating the strawberries, but luckily caught them when a lot of them were just ripe enough to pick. Basically what I've done is, this is what I collected last night, 13th of June, and today I'm basically, we put them near the windowsill but in shade, and they've ripened even overnight, and 1 or 2 of these might still have a tiny bit of mould. I can just cut them off, but so now it's time obviously when they're just about ripe. I don't net mine, you see, so it means I have to go down frequently to collect them. Once you've got your elderflower and rhubarb mixture boiling, then you can put it onto simmer, as I've done here, and just let it simmer away, because what you want is you want to break down those cell walls. Rhubarb is very tough plant, and also with the elderflower, and you can use a wooden spoon and then sort of just really press it down and let it bubble, because the idea is that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break down the cell walls here, so I can get at what's inside the actual cytoplasm inside the plant cells. In order to do that, you are going to have to keep it simmering for a while. So I'll probably keep this simmering for a good 15-20 minutes, and then really sort of start to press the rhubarb with the wooden spoon to get the juice out of it, because I'm not interested in the actual rhubarb eating it, I just want the juice from it. So basically it's like an extraction process here, and like I said, I'm not going to add the apple juice to this until this has been strained. You'll have a concentrate. Once you've got your concentrate, you can store your concentrate in the fridge. I found that mine seems to keep for over a week, but then you've got to go use a bit of common sense on that. It needs to be kept in the fridge once it's been strained and cooled down. And you can add other juices like apple juice, for instance, or lemon juice. But lemon juice is quite acidic, so I prefer less acid drinks to add to this. And it just gives, and this basically will be very zesty healthy drink. I'm not adding any sugar to this at all, because I think there's plenty of sugar in supermarket drinks like apple juice, or you might want to add something like cherry, or grapefruit maybe, or something like that, something with a bit of acid to it. After about half an hour of gently simmering, you should end up with your concentrate looking at something like this. And again, using your wooden spoon, just keep breaking up the plant fibres as much as you can. So I'm going to spend a good 5 minutes doing this, because don't want to boil it anymore. It's because it's gone down to a concentrate now. Next, you then will just basically just hold your sieve up, pour it in gently, use a tea towel or oven gloves so you don't burn yourself, and then basically I'm wanting the filtrate from this in the pan. Then once you've got your filtrate, then you can add your apple juice to that, and I then generally store it then in Pyrex containers as a concentrate in the fridge. Okay, so this is what it looks like. That's on the strainer, and then again you can use your spoon to basically just stir it through the strainer. It'll take some time for the liquid to go through the strainer. What's left behind here is not what I want. I will discard this into my recycling for my composting heap. And I have noticed, by the way, that rhubarb leaves seem to be very handy to be used around seedlings. Insects don't seem to like them, so I've used them and peppermint, excess mint to put around tender seedlings, which have got nets around them anyway, but the smell of them seems to put off pests. As you can see, beneath this is the juice I'm after here. It's sort of a reddish colour, which obviously comes from the rhubarb, and I can smell the elderflower and rhubarb on it. It's very strong, very concentrated juice, and that's what I'm going to add my apple juice to from the carton. Of course, you could use lemon juice from freshly squeezed lemons, or any other flavoured juice, low sugar, that you can get hold of, and this will be then put into a Pyrex container as a concentrate and kept in the fridge, and you can add your apple juice as and when you want it. I put some in with it on the concentrate in the fridge. I think the acid sort of helps as a preservative anyway. Of course, you can, just to flush out the last of the juice from your concentrate of rhubarb and elderflower. This is water which is boiled. It's not boiling hot now. I just boiled it in the kettle. I'm just going to run that over, not too much, because I still want this thing to be a concentrate. What's left here on the colander here, to try and filter it through the last bit here, just enough to soak it, and then I'll just stir that through the colander. When you clean your metal colander out, I always notice with rhubarb, it turns the water really green, and I presume it must be the acid, as oxalic acid. It really does sort of clean metal. That's what my wastewater looks like. And I basically put that's what's left here. No, I'm getting big face, but that's what's left of the elderflower and rhubarb, which is going to go into composting. So here is my juice, which looks very red, and I've probably got enough to put in two of these Pyrex containers, and that's basically concentrate. It smells quite yummy. I've added no sugar to it, and basically it just needs to cool down first, so I might just put a cloth over it, a dishcloth over it to let it cool down, and then we'll get the concentrate fridged. So I'm adding my apple juice now. I've got two of these containers, Pyrex containers, and I will just basically top up with my apple juice. There you go. And it's no sugar added by me, so any sweetness which is in this juice will be just from the actual carton itself, what's inside it. And this is a litre, this particular apple juice. And there you go, and this will be my finished summer drink. I'll just need to obviously let it settle, because it's been filtered through, the colander, metal colander. Let it settle, and then I'm going to fridge it. And it should keep for over a week, I would think. I can tell by the taste if it's gone off or not. And that's it, your summer drink. So I hope you try some recipes like that yourself, but I've just given you an idea of something very simple that can be made from things that grow around you. As I say, I live in the Midlands in England, and elderflower elder is very successful around here, and rhubarb grows very well, so it's just a good combination for a summer drink. Plus you just add a little bit of your own flavouring. After a day, then your elderflower, rhubarb and apple drink will have settled. I made some more last night from elderflower and a couple more rhubarb stalks just to make it a little more concentrated. You need to make it as concentrated as you possibly can. Only have enough water to cover and simmer, and then you'll find it's much more tangy. You can add a tiny bit of sugar if you like. You might want to add something like muscovado or brown sugar, but as little as possible, and obviously your juice will have sugar in it. And this is what it looks like now. It settles. You see there's a sediment there, and I put some in the fridge as well, which I just put some in a cup. You can, if you can keep the whole lot in the fridge, it's obviously better. And I've got some in a cup there, which I'll be drinking soon. So once you've made your summer drink and fridged it, all that's left now, you can see this, and it's a lovely deep colour, nice, cold, straight from the fridge. Enjoy it. Cheers. Very tangy, lots of rhubarb coming through. The elder gives it a lovely sort of floral scent. Quite a bite to it. I'm glad I added the apple juice, and I didn't add any sugar at all to this. Elderflower grows almost semi-wild in the Midlands in England, so it's found all over the place, especially on roadside verges and stuff, but you need to find something that's less polluted if you're going to be using it for making your drinks. So this is one that's grown in my garden. There's the flowers. This is elderflower in the wild. You'll find that it flowers in England about mid-June, and that's the time to pick it when the flowers are at the most fragrant if you're going to make drinks with it. And it grows very tall, can grow 20 feet even higher on areas like the Trent Hills